Hey, welcome to Gold's Garage. So we're obviously not in the garage today, we're in the office, and there's a reason for that, and I'm not dressed the same as usual, and I'm going to explain that to you as well. And let's start with that. So a few years ago, I built an engine for Jim Moyer. Jim Moyer owns Holland Trucking here in London, and it was in the summertime. And when he came to pick the engine up, his little boy came with him, and he gave me this beautiful hoodie in appreciation. And I never heard from Jim since. And just recently, he got a hold of me. He said he lost my contact information. He sent me a little clip of his, I built him a 400 small block. I think it made 460 horsepower and 500 pounds of torque. And he sent me a couple of clips of it doing burnouts. He said he wanted to have enough power to burn rubber, so I gave him that. And Mike actually published a short of it. So back to the hoodie. Jim was nice enough to, I had a Z28 Camaro. He had this embroidered, beautiful picture of my Z28 Camaro. And I'm going to tie that into another theme. Recently in one of the comments, someone asked me about profitability and what's your profit margin and all that kind of stuff. So I have to tell you, building engines is a hobby for me. And I don't work for free, but it's a hobby for me. And one of the things that I work for, I call psychic income. And you can't buy anything with it, but it sure makes you feel good. And when somebody appreciates what you do and you know it's successful and you get recognition for it, that's called psychic income. And that's worth as much to me as anything else in doing this. So now on with the work at hand. So this is just a short clip. The subsequent clips in this video will be all from the dyno, from Daryl's dyno. It's the completion of the original video that we made back last Sunday of Roland Cron's 350 small block Chev on the dyno. And we had to stop because we had pretty severe valve float at 5,300 RPM. And this is the video of the World Products heads. So we had to stop and fix that. Normally we take an engine to the dyno, we take it off and bring it home. I wanted to fix it while it's still on the dyno and get a clean run out of it. So Daryl was nice enough to open up his shop on Tuesday night. And Alec and I both came back there. We both missed our hockey game and we had to fix it. So I took the valve springs out of it, and the valve springs I was going to put in really weren't much stronger. That at 1.750 is the installed height of those valve springs. They're supposed to have well over 100 pounds of force. 1.750, and they didn't. So what I did was no point in changing the valve springs. We shimmed them. So we put a 60 thou shim under all the intakes. The intake valves are heavier, so we wanted the strongest force on the intake valves, and a 30 thou shim on the exhaust valves. We made subsequent runs on the dyno, and we got clean runs with no valve float past 5,700 RPM. The engine peaked horsepower at 5,400 RPM anyways, so there's no point in going beyond that. And so we are happy we accomplished that. If you notice in the clips, I was a little stressed out because I was taking up Daryl's time. There was lots else going on there. He had a time curfew. We can't run the engine after 9 o'clock at night. We didn't get started until fairly late. But anyway, mission accomplished. So it leads to another point. The end result was, even with the valve float fixed, and if you watch the dyno run previously on the Sunday and then more runs on the Tuesday, we made altogether 39 runs, all recorded runs, 19 recorded runs, I apologize. 19 runs, pulls on the dyno. We did everything we could think of. We changed timing, we changed jets, we used 3 carburetors, 2 distributors, took the spacer out, put the spacer back in, pretty much everything we could do. And so the World Products heads, without valve float, everything working good. The best pull we got was 346 horsepower. The heads that we had on it in the previous run, when it was Mike Kimball's engine, were the stock Chevrolet heads, 300 horse, 350 heads with smaller valves. We made 352 horsepower. Mike had ported those heads, credit to him. They actually worked better than the World Product heads, even though we knew we had a couple of weak cylinders in that because we had a problem with a couple of valves in the previous run. So the net result of that is, the real point of this series of videos now is about cylinder heads. I need to make a point. So you take those two engines or two combinations of engines, throw in, compare that to Will Casey's 350 that I built for Will Casey's Corvette a couple months ago. About the same camshaft, about the same compression, about 10-to-1 compression, very, very similar camshafts. Both these versions that we just did make 350 plus or minus. I should mention, we had to use the sprint car headers when we did the test on Roland's engine. They aren't the best headers. The problem is the headers he brought wouldn't clear the spark plugs. You had interference, so we had to use the sprint car headers. They're made for much bigger engines. We might have done a little better if we hadn't done that. Anyway, let's say 350 horsepower plus minus. Exact same engine in terms of compression and camshaft. The three ways you make power: compression, valve timing, and cylinder head flow. Getting air mixture past your carburetor, into the intake manifold, past that intake valve is the hardest part of making power. So the difference is Will Casey's engine made 406 horsepower. And same engine, different heads. And Will Casey's engine, I used a pair of fast burn Chevrolet aluminum heads that I had left from my racing days when I finished Pro Late Model Racing. Had three 604 crate engines. ZZ6 is the same engine, CT400. And so those two heads were used. They'd been on engines before. We refurbished them and put them on Will Casey's engine. And even though it had a low-rise intake manifold, because it's got to fit in a Corvette, it made 406 horsepower. So the point of the discussion is this. If you're planning your engine and you're investing in trying to make power, you need to have good heads. That just shows you the same engine, 50 more horsepower basically, and the only difference is cylinder heads. Let me throw another one in. I did one for Gary Watson 5 years ago or so now. First engine that I ever dynoed on Daryl's dyno. Stock 350, stock original pistons, 9.2 or 3 to 1 compression ratio, but I put pair of Speedmaster heads. Yeah, they're Chinese heads. They work pretty darn good, actually. Speedmaster heads, bolted them on and made 358 horsepower. It had a Melling 222 cam, which is a knockoff of an L78 cam. So smaller cam, less compression, more horsepower in the cylinder heads, even though they're Speedmaster. There's nothing wrong with Speedmaster heads. I've used lots of them. They work pretty good. So the point is, when you're planning your build, you're going to spend some money. The problem with cylinder heads is they're one of the three variables, but they're the most expensive variable. The heads can cost more than the rest of your engine put together. So that's the point. The only other thing I want to bring up before we go to the next clips on the dyno, and then he'll explain himself. The Pontiac engine that we made a video of recently that came to me in pieces, and when I made that video, I basically was explaining the problem. I didn't have any solutions yet. And one of them is, do we just put this engine back together or do we hot tank it or whatever? Lots of comments and lots of interest in that. So for what it's worth, it's gone to the machine shop, all the plugs out, all the frost plugs, water plugs out of it. It's going to be hot tank, jet wash, Magnaflux, and we're going to cut 18 thousandths off the deck. And that's going to fix our quench. The quench right now is over 60 thou. We cut 18 thousandths off the deck. We're going to have the pistons 4 thou down the hole. And with the right head gasket, we're going to have about 45 thousandths of quench height, which is ideal. And we will make subsequent videos when we get it back. I want to say hello to Albert and Walt at West Lauren Machine Shop in West Lauren, Ontario, about half an hour east of here. Or west of here, sorry. And they're going to do all the work for me, and we're going to take it from there and get it back together. So watch for that. Like and subscribe. Thanks, Alex. As always, please like and subscribe. We're doing good. The channel's growing. Interest is gaining. Every day gets better. And reason we make videos, I talk about psychic income. That's one of my psychic incomes. I need subscribers, and if you subscribe for me, that'll give me some of that. So only one other point before we move on. We're going to put a screenshot of this. We've made a list of video plans for the year, and we're going to definitely be adding more, but this is just what I got in my head right now. I'm not going to read it all off. We'll put a screenshot of it. We got lots of things to do, lots of stuff in progress. Got to make a mention. We're going to get into the Mopars next. As soon as you get these Pontiacs done, we're going to do a 340 Mopar engine, and I haven't ever done one before, so that's going to be interesting for me. Once again, watch for the next clip. The next clip you see, we are at the dyno. Hey, welcome to Gold's Garage. So this is a continuation of our previous video where we had valve float on was Mike Kimball's, now it's Roman Cron's engine. And so we came back today. I hate working in the evening. Alec and I are missing our hockey game, but we got to get work done because Daryl needs this dyno back. And so I took the springs off because we had valve float at 5300. Checked the springs. The springs I was going to put on were no stronger. So we shimmed every intake spring with 60 thou and every exhaust spring with 30 thou. And we're going to see what that does. We're going to try and get a pull in. We only got till 9 o'clock. We're under pressure. Don't have much time to talk, but we got to get going. Okay, we're back again. Pressure of time. We've got a curfew to deal with tonight. We're working at night. I got to get this engine off the dyno tonight because they always got another engine coming in. So we came here at 6 o'clock. Changed we basically shimmed all the valve springs. I think I mentioned this already. The valve springs in it were just as strong as the ones we were going to put in it, so we shimmed them. And basically that's what we did, put it back together. We just got it running and set all the valves, did all that stuff. I think about an hour, a little more than that. And we're going to make a pull and see if it'll pull past 5,300 RPM here in a minute. It's just on the warm-up start right now. Please remember to like and subscribe. We worked pretty hard to make this video for you guys. Sometimes I just like to get work done, but we try to fit the video in too, so please like and subscribe. And I didn't mention, maybe I didn't mention in this video anyway, this was Alex's idea. So we've created a spreadsheet, and Alex isn't just my cameraman right now, he's my recorder. So we record, Alex records for every pull we make, what carburetor we have, what jets, what timing, whether we got a spacer or not, how much torque and horsepower it makes. So we can go back in time if we have a frustrating day like we did on Sunday when things didn't go good and see what worked and what didn't work. Document, document, document. The more history you have, the more information you have, the better you're going to do. So that was Alex's idea, good on him. And he didn't just create the idea. I said, Alex, great idea. Now you get to be the recorder. So he's doing that for me. Okay, watch for the next clip. We're going to try to make some pulls here. Okay, we're even going to try and fit a tip of the day, and this is it. This is the most handy tool, most inexpensive tool you will have in your toolbox. It's just a magnet, telescopic magnet, changing valve springs. It's ideal, of course, for catching the valve springs. You don't have to worry about dropping them, and you don't have any idea how many things I've fished out of the bottom of oil pans and stuff with this. So if you haven't got one in your toolbox, go buy it now. They're inexpensive and you'll find a use for it.
Man, it's got too much water.
Does it?
Water.
Okay, we had a question on our channel about where does all the water go? The water go? Do you recycle it or do you just send it back to the river? Well, here's where it goes. 3,000 gallon water tank. And so Newton's law of energy says energy enough to create or destroy